Does implementation matters? Does DAC chip matters? So, hello everyone, this is a review of a DAC, NewOntech DAC08 DAC. So, in this review I will talk about technical aspect of this DAC and also after that I will talk about its sound. So why it's interesting to review this DAC? Because it is very expensive, it's 4,000 euros, and it has a common known DAC chip PCM 1795. And also here I have another DAC V90 Musical Fidelity V90 DAC that uses the same chip, So, but they are different implemented. This is only 200 or 300 euros. So this one, NewOntech DAC is like almost 20 times expensive than this one. So same chip, different implementation. Do they sound different? We will talk about it later. I also will compare with DAC D90, the sound of topping D90, to have a reference. So let's talk about what we see here. So the most shocking things is like a big power supply, a lot of capacitor, a lot of passive filtering stage, inductors, resistors, and two transformers. Also, we have different type of capacitors, audio field capacitors. So here, for example, Elna 2 for power supply. There are many Nichicon Muse, Nichicon KA, also Panasonic, two type of Panasonic, and different tantalum capacitor. So different capacitor for different task. This is an interesting because this is like a great attention of a manufacturer for each type of component. So I think they were listening one capacitor than another, and I think they choose the best one for their ears. So here a quick here I draw. Let's begin for power supply. So here I draw a quick short diagram, a scheme of this power supply. So I will tell you what is exotics here, what is different from usually audiophile D solutions. What is exotic here? So and what's strange to D ears? So first, let's start with two transformer here. This transformer, each transformer has two coils. So we think like, as usual, we think like one is for digital part of DAC chip and another for analog part. So like separation is at the level of transformer. So this is like a audiophile rules, or so for DEERs, DAC DEERs. But funny thing is that this is they connect two coils into one, and each transformer serves just one pole in reference to ground. So for example, this is negative pole and this is positive pole. So positive pole is the positive pole is all DAC, almost all, everything that is positive, but this negative and this negative is has also many capacitors here, a negative pole, and it's just for these teeny op-amps, two of them. One is converted, then again one more stage filtering. This is, but another plus is for everything else. So at the level of transformer, the digital and analog is not separated, so it's only this one positive. It's only one transformer here for everything, but they have many passive filtering stages. So this is like interesting in this exotic, like not standard solutions. So another not standard solution are, for example, the use of the most important part of the DAC chip. The use of 5 transistor, like in Darlington, like Darlington. Usually we see 2 transistors on the amplifier output Darlington, but there's 5 transistors, so you can see these are transistors for analog part of that. So you can stop video and to see better this power diagram. R is our regulators, all regulators here, regulators, and these are transistors, and these are the main what power supply. So the relay switcher, SPDIF receiver, I2C switcher, and DAC and op-amps. So I'm not included relay, optical inputs, the power for them. So you can see approximately what. So this is like something unique here. Usually many dealers use very low noise regulators as one chip, but here are 5 of them. Also. This is about power supply. You can again look at this one. The most important, the most shocking, not expected, the USB board has no power supply, so it's discharged very quickly portative device. And also you cannot put into this a clean power, because the power goes together in parallel with data, so it will not be a very low noise power because it's via USB cable. So usually dealers, high-end believers, choose from the inside of DAC more clean power for USB board. But in this, maybe they choose another way. Maybe they think that it's you don't need this, but the negative part is also discharging portative devices. Also, let's talk about signal path. So what we have here is almost 6 SPDIF inputs that are with switches selector, and go to receiver, SPDIF receiver, then go to I2C switches, then select between SPD receiver and USB board. Then I2C goes to DAC chip itself, and from DAC chip go to current voltage conversion op-amp, and then another op-amp. Current voltage converter make a first step of filtration and goes directly to parallel to this op-amp, and for XLR is go through this capacitor. This is, I think, Nichicon KA, I think. So you hear the sound in XLR, these two, from this op-amp through capacitor, through this capacitor. So someone may, for someone this is important information, because someone believes that or someone hears that there is difference between this capacitor in sound when it goes through DC blocking capacitor or not. But in RCA is without capacitor but goes through another filtering stage op-amp and without capacitor. So the sound could be different from RCA and XLR. And the RCA use very fancy, very expensive. Each is WBT silver, which is 75 euros. So there are 4 of them. Like so, only these 4 connectors are 300 euros. So that is crazy for many and not crazy for others. So what else I want to say about technical aspect? So one is that this designer didn't go to extreme with clocks. So usually many dealers use quartz, very low noise, phase noise generator, expensive. But here we see that SPD goes SPD receiver generates its own clock via PLA, so it even don't use any quartz generator, and in theory it's more noisy, and even more there is one more switcher that also could add slightly phase noise of clock. So again they didn't go to extreme. They choose a simple PLA from SPDIF receiver for SPDIF inputs, but in the USB board there also strange, maybe to me it's strange maybe, but they choose this, they have they think that is good for them, but one thing is that the master clock that goes through one wire is far away to the ground. This is ground, and because this is far away, they create a noise. The ground also is a chassis, is a body, but also the one wire of, so they are far away from each other. That could create noise in all the board, and also because they are parallel with the data and other data, bit clock and others, the master clock could get more poor phase noise parameter. So they didn't go to extreme with the clocks. They didn't go. That is interesting. So that's all. That's approximately all for some technical aspect. So it's time to compare sound quality and to talk about sound quality. So here we have more. Look at the difference. How different are they? And use the same chip. And let's how they compare. This is one implementation. This is another implementation. So yes, implementation matters. The sound is better here. This is sound a little more dynamic, more solid and weighty bass, slightly more resolution than this one, and more funny and more energetic. But the character is the same. what the character is. I think, I believe, I think it's DAC chip. So how this DAC chip I define usually, because I heard many were brown. Their main talent is a texture and organic coloration. Their organic is like, imagine like they add to music a kind of texture, and it's look like natural, organic, like wood, or like small waves under on a lake when blow winter sharp waves, and they created texture. So this sound has a character, that a kind of character, organic texture on it. So what is it's doing better? So yes, this is common. Here the character common, this and this, in added texture, and also what this chip is talented for. I think it's create a great pointing of sources, localization of sources within sound stage. The shape of sources of sound is more real. You feel more real, but added texture, organic texture. And sometimes when busy stuff going here, it loses a bit of resolution. So here I will combine another DAC based on new, I mean more new AK4499 AQ, and how they compare. So what is negative about this? Negative in comparison to this one, this has a flat sound stage. It is it can do very well position of instrument. It cannot the sound is added with viscosity, like viscosity and blur. But the strongest thing here is that when stuff get busy, you can hear this is more have more resolution. You can hear many voices. You can hear background voices, background sounds, and room reverberation effects. Very good with this. No, not on this one. This is is total different. This is loses a bit when it loses a bit in resolution. Loses. And also this is slightly more snappy, slightly more snappy. For example, when you make a kick drum of one stick on one finger, like this, like so. This is this one it sounds like many fingers. So it should be one, but it's like when it's go busy, and also it's added texture. You're feeling a texture, but this one even kill texture. It's say it's like coated with something, coated. So, and also one more thing about this, has slightly more punchy bass. Slightly not weighty, but this in general, everything it has no texture, not good texture. Even imagine you have a bass together with guitar, bass guitar, so bass kick and bass guitar. So this one will took your attention on the kick bass, but this one will took your attention to the tone of bass guitar for and sound more rich, more organic. And it's a sense of here like a sense of more realism. But when you listen long and with the busy tracks, it's like loses a bit. It's you hear clearly organic texture, fake organic texture. on it. So you see, for conclusion, implementation matters. Yes, because I compared with the same DAC chip and different implementation. Yes, matters. So yes, it's but also matters DAC chip. DAC chip also matters a lot for me. I heard many of them, and maybe new one are more neutral, but this the old one like Burr Brown's, Cyrus Logic, Wolfson DACs, they have their own character. So to me, the DAC chip is direction, what to choose. But implementation is like elevate the talent of that direction. So also, I understand many manufacturer don't like to say about DAC chip, and they because all their art is outside of the chip, so they tend to say that DAC chips doesn't matter. But for me, DAC chip matters a lot. At least old chip, maybe newer one, maybe in future they will be more neutral, but older are chip matters to me a lot. So so in conclusion, for whom this could be, so it's not for everyone. It's a good implemented DAC chip. This DAC chip Burr Brown and his talent are preserved, but who don't like the sound or are heard many times that and don't want one more, so it's not good for them. But for those who like organic texture, good position, localization within a sound stage, and very good implementation, because yes, implementation matters. Yes, it's better than this one. Yes, and I don't. This is true, but also DAC chips. Don't forget. I mean, for me, you choose what you your. I mean, each has his own philosophy. But again, I thought that this one will convince me that DAC chips doesn't matter, but it didn't. So this is an interesting DAC. This DAC is expensive, but they have a model expensive because their case is very heavy. It's aluminium and case beautiful, and also components, very expensive components. But there are more low there. This designer has I think more low cost. It's like 2000 euro approximately, and I think that one has more value. And if you want this type of sound of this with texture, with organic, yes, this could be your DAC. You can do. Sure, you need to pay more to get more dynamics, slightly more resolution than this, slightly more. And for someone, doesn't matter how they pay over, because yeah, it's it's matter. It's interesting, and what interesting, we don't know how how implementation matter, how they choose. This is like I don't know, experimenting a lot. So yes, they did their job, but again, DAC is not for everyone. So there are a lot of competition within this price range. So this is So thank you for watching. I hope this information was good for somebody, for dears, for music lovers, and audiophiles. So thank you.